Hello, students. Welcome to first year, and I am Sapna Kotra, your teacher for English literature. Now, before doing the poems, I would like to do the literary terms so that when you do a poem, you read a poem, you understand what are the literary terms which are used in the poem. Now, very first poem which we have is Ice and Fire, and that poem is in the form of a sonnet. Now, what is a sonnet? The word sonnet, it is derived or taken from the Italian word sonetto, and it means a little song or a small lyric. Now, it is very necessary that a sonnet should have 14 lines and it is written in iambic pentameter. Each line has 10 syllables. Generally, sonnets are divided into different groups based on the rhyme scheme they follow. The rhymes of a sonnet are arranged according to a certain rhyme scheme. The rhyme scheme is usually ABAB, CDCD, EFEF, and GG, and in English. Now, what do you mean by the rhyme scheme? The rhyme scheme actually is the sound by which one line ends. Now, conventions associated with the sonnet have evolved over its history. Writers of sonnet are also called sonneteers. The sonnet has become popular among different poets because it has a great adaptability to different purposes and requirements. Rhythms are strictly followed. It could be a perfect poetic style for elaboration or expression of a single feeling. Means a single feeling or a single thought is expressed in the poem within its short length in an iambic pentameter. In fact, it gives an ideal setting for a poet to explore strong emotions in the given structure. Due to its short length, it is easy to manage for both the writer and the reader. Now, the sonnets are divided again into four major types: the Italian sonnet, from where it was originated; Shakespearean sonnet, which is very typical of Shakespeare. Then we have Spenserian sonnets, and then we have the Miltonic sonnets. Spenserian sonnets are written by Spenser, and the Miltonic sonnets are written by John Milton. Now, the Italian or the Petrarchan sonnet. The Italian sonnet characteristically treats its theme in two parts. The first part is of 8 lines, which is called the octave. It states a problem, it asks a question, or it expresses an emotional tension. And in the last 6 lines, which is called the sestet, it resolves the problem, solves the problem, it answers the question, or it relieves the tension. The octave is rhymed as ABBA, ABBA, and the rhyme scheme of the sestet varies. It may be CDE, CDE, or CD, CC, DC. Now, Italian sonnets are known as Petrarchan because the Italian writer Petrarch was one of the main writer of this form. In fact, he is called the father of the sonnet. The Petrarchan sonnet became a major influence on European poetry. It soon became naturalized in Spain, Portugal, and France, and was introduced to Poland, wherein it spread to other literatures also. In most cases, the form was adapted to the staple meter of the language, that is the 12-syllable iambic line, and the iambic pentameter in English. A great example of the Italian sonnet is appropriately titled as Italian Sonnet by James Defoe. The English or the Shakespearean sonnet. The Shakespearean sonnet is named after Shakespeare not because he invented it, but because he is the most famous writer of this type of sonnet. Typically, the English sonnet explores romantic love, and the rhyme scheme follows is AB, AB, CD, CD, followed by EF, EF, GG. In Shakespearean sonnet, we have 3 quatrains, that is, one stanza of 4 lines. So, we have 3 stanzas of 4 lines, that comes to 12 lines, and a couplet, that is 2 lines in the end. Now, beautiful examples of English sonnet written by William Shakespeare is "Went to the sessions of sweet silent thought, shall I compare thee to a summer's day." Spenserian sonnet. The English poet Edmund Spenser, who lived and wrote during the Elizabethan age, used a slightly different rhyme scheme in his sonnets, that is AB, AB, BC, BC, CD, CD, and EE. This provides a tighter connection between the different stanzas. And Sir Edmund Spenser's sonnet, Ice and Fire, is a fine example of this type. Then we come to the Miltonic sonnet. Miltonic sonnet converts the traditional Petrarchan sonnet form by the use of enjambment. This 17th century form was created by the English poet John Milton. Milton also took the sonnet out of the category of love poems and brought it into the world of politics and social issues. And when we have in our syllabus a Miltonic sonnet. When I consider how my life is spent is a fine example of Miltonic sonnet. Sonnets are a classic poetic form which has been adopted across languages and around the world. Although free verse has popularized poetry free of form, rhyme, or syllabic constraint, the sonnet still remains a popular form in its own right. Sonnets have allowed poets to examine religious, personal, and political problems. They allow even the most elementary poets to dabble in romance with the most classic form of love poetry. Thank you.